Hello everyone, welcome to this series on English idioms, and in this video we are going to discuss the fourth part of the sequence What is the time? Let's start the story. In the small village of Eldersville, there lived an old man named Tom, who was known for his stories about the good old days. The townsfolk often gathered around him, eager to listen to his tales of a simpler time when life seemed slower and sweeter. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Tom sat on his porch, surrounded by curious children and nostalgic adults. He began to speak, his voice warm and soothing. "You see," he started, "back in the old days, we didn't have all these gadgets and distractions. We cherished each moment because we knew that time and tide wait for no man. Life was different, but in its own way, it was beautiful." The children, wide-eyed, asked him to tell a story from those days. Tom smiled and leaned in closer. "There was a time," he began, "when I nearly missed the train that was supposed to take me to meet the love of my life. I was young and careless, but in the nick of time, I managed to hope and board. If I had missed it, my whole life would have been different. It's funny how the sands of time shape our lives, isn't it?" The crowd nodded, captivated by his words. Tom continued, "But you know, there's no time like the present. We often dwell on the past, but the real magic happens when we seize the moment. That's what I did when I met her for the third time. I'd seen her before, twice in passing, but it was the third time's a charm that led me to ask her out. And the rest, as they say, is history." He paused, letting his words sink in, before adding, "And don't forget, my dear friends, time flies. One day you are young, and the next you are sitting on a porch like me, reminiscing about the past. But what's important is to live fully, to embrace each day, because time after time, life gives us chances to make memories that last." The crowd sat in silence for a moment, reflecting on Tom's wisdom. Finally, one of the children asked, "But Grandpa Tom, do you ever wish you could go back to those good old days?" Tom chuckled softly. "Ah, sometimes I do," he admitted. "But then I remind myself that every moment is a gift. Whether it's the past, the present, or the future, each one has its own beauty. So let's make the most of now, because tomorrow will be another story to tell." And with that, the gathering slowly dispersed, each person carrying a little piece of Tom's timeless wisdom in their hearts, ready to create their own stories to share with the next generation. Now let us study the idioms which are made bold in the story. The good old days, meaning a nostalgic reference to the past, often seen as better or simpler than the present. Sentence: My grandparents always talk about the good old days when life was slower and people were kinder. The nick of time, meaning just in time, at the last possible moment before something happens. Sentence: I arrived at the airport in the nick of time, just before they closed the gate. The sands of time, meaning a metaphor for the passage of time, especially as it seems to slip away quickly. Sentence: As she watched her children grow up, she couldn't help but feel the sands of time slipping through her fingers. There's no time like the present, meaning the best time to do something is right now. Sentence: if you want to start learning a new language, there's no time like the present. Third time's a charm, meaning the belief that after failing twice, success is more likely on the third attempt. Sentence: after 2 failed attempts at passing the driving test, I finally succeeded on my third try. I guess third time's a charm. Time after time, meaning repeatedly, again and again. Sentence: time after time, he warned them about the dangers of not wearing a helmet, but they didn't listen. Time and tide wait for no man, meaning time passes quickly and continuously, and you cannot stop or delay it. Sentence: she realized she needed to act on her dreams now, because time and tide wait for no man. Time flies, meaning time seems to pass very quickly. Sentence: it's hard to believe that our college days are over. Time flies when you are having fun. So these were the idioms related to time that appeared in today's story. We will meet in the next video and learn some more idioms related to time. Until then, goodbye and thank you.